not like OnlyFans going crazy, but I do show
Did
off
you come here
because
to get some honest feedback, or did you come here to try to tell me who you are and what you're about and all this other stuff? I'm trying to give you feedback.
okay, so if I
So,
put my titties away, then I'll be taken seriously if I cover up more. Will that do it?
okay.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, good morning. I don't know what time is it?
It's late. It's like 2 o'clock right now.
All right, well, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so you want some honest feedback.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on with you. What's your story? What's your relationship status right now?
I'm 26 and I'm single right now. My last relationship was in October. Um, and it didn't go terribly at first, but I was with like
How
an
long were
NFL
y'all
player.
together?
A year. A year. So I made a bad decision and moved in with him like way too early. I think that's
What is too
probably
early?
why.
What does too early mean?
It was like, so we didn't date even for a full year before I went to moved all the way like to Cleveland to be with him. So I think the
So
reason why I'm
within how many months did you move in?
four, if that really, I know it's pretty bad.
How did you
And
meet
it was
him?
long distance, but I always flew out to see him like
How did you
weekly.
meet him?
Instagram, he was an NFL player, so just through Instagram.
An NFL player?
Yeah, that's probably my first mistake.
Why did you want to be with an NFL player?
Why did I want to be with an NFL player? Um, Honestly, I was just like watching the combine because I actually do watch sports. And I had seen him and I just decided like, oh, let me go like his Instagram pictures. And then from there it just kind of took off. But
You got in his DMs?
I liked his pictures and then he slid into my DMs.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I'm
How
just
long
single
after
now
you?
because I'm
How
taking
long
my time.
after? How long after he slid into your DMs did you actually meet him before you met him?
Um, I met him probably like,
A couple weeks.
yeah, I think it was like 2 weeks because they came to play the Falcons. I live in Atlanta, so that's when I met him.
The first time you met him, did you guys have sexual interaction?
Not the first time, but the next time. But
Hmm.
then I flew out to like Cleveland and
So
then
the
yeah.
first time you met him when at the NFL game, the second time you flew out to Cleveland to see him?
I actually didn't meet him at the game. So basically with like I'm sure you know, like with players, they end up like they're at the hotel in whatever city they're in and they have like meetings and they have like free time in between their meetings and I just like went out to dinner or lunch, I guess, with him. So yeah.
You went out to lunch with him. Okay.
Yeah.
But the second time you flew out to see him in Cleveland?
Yeah. So why bye? Because you're
Hold on a
telling us
minute.
why we're so single.
Hold on a minute. What was your intention when you first liked this man's pictures or whatever? What was your intention at that time?
What was my intention? Well, when I liked his pictures, like most people, was to get the person's attention. Those were my intention, and it
Okay,
worked.
so you wanted his attention, so that means you were interested in him.
Right.
Based
Yeah.
off of what? Just off of how he looked, or the fact that he was an NFL player? What interested you?
She won't name drop. Of course, I won't name drop. Y'all are crazy. But my intention was what attracted me to him. I thought he looked good. Um, and yeah, I mean, that's really it. He was attractive and he obviously had a great job, clearly, very fit. And so I slid in his DMs.
Mm. Once again, are you ready for some honest feedback?
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, I speak about this all the time. Y'all don't pick men, y'all don't look at men based off of character, based off of integrity, based off of morals, based off of behavior. Y'all don't do that.
Okay.
Y'all like men based off of looks, height, how much money he looks like he has, which is part of looks. You don't know if the man has any money or not just because he's an NFL player. He could be broke. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you can look at I wouldn't know like how he's saving, but you do know people's contracts. Everything is online. But I will say this.
If a doctor makes $250,000 a year, but he's $2 million in debt and he's living paycheck to paycheck, would you say that he's rich? If he makes $250,000 a year, but he's living paycheck to paycheck because he's 2 million in debt, is he rich?
No, I'm saying, of course, I don't know if the person's in debt or not, but like, of
But, I,
course, I
but I'm
won't know.
saying that's why you don't make a judgment based off of the person's what you think their job is.
Right. But initially, you're not going to know the person's like integrity and their character. Just like when men choose us, they're looking at like what we look like first. So my first instinct was, oh, he looks good. It seems like he's doing well. I'll find out like more as I get to know him. But
Okay,
of course, I'm not going to know that right away.
that's not accurate. That's not true. Okay, because once again, I asked you, what did you notice about him for you to start liking his pictures and want to get his attention? And you talked about only his looks and the fact that he was an NFL player.
That's all I knew.
You thought he had money, right?
Yeah, that's all I knew at first, obviously.
Okay.
And it's the same thing if I talk to somebody that's not an NFL player. Like if I see somebody's Instagram, they look like they're put together and clean, that's going to attract me to, I don't know, like a picture or two. But I'm not going to know their integrity and their character.
That's not okay. So once again, that's not true. That's not
How
true.
would I know
Because
what
let me let, because listen, just listen. I'm going to explain to you. There's so many women that will initially scroll by me and they'll say, "Guru's he's fine or he's handsome, he's attractive." But all they got to do is stay in my life for a minute or two and they're like, "I don't like how this man speaks.
they're okay.
He might look good, but nope, he's not for me." A lot of these women will say that. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a different situation because you're on live, but you're not going to know somebody's character until you talk to them. So I don't feel like it's bad to see someone's Instagram and or see them wherever and then just like
Really,
shoot your shot. I'm not
really,
going to know its character until I talk to the
really,
person.
really. So you're telling me that there is no way to get an idea of a person's character by the way they speak or by the way their social media is put out?
Yeah,
Nothing?
I didn't see any bad vibes or anything wrong, so I slid. I didn't see anything wrong. And I've done that. I don't want to just focus just on like, the NFL player because I've definitely talked to people like after the fact too. And if I see that you're put together and you're clean and you know what I'm saying, like the things that you post are not strange or it's not like a red flag, then I will slide. I don't see how that's
Okay,
a
let me ask you
problem.
this question. Let me ask you this question. If a man wants to fly you to his home
Mhm.
privately for a first or second meeting to see you in his home, is that a red flag?
Um, Not really. I don't think so. So for me, if I end up like flying out to see
Hold on a
can
minute.
I
Hold on a minute.
finish?
Hold on. No, one second. Y'all will say once again, don't we I'm not here to Netflix and chill. Don't ask me that. Be creative and all this stuff. But yet, what you did for this man was you were willing to go out on a date with him or meet him for
Mhm.
a lunch, and the second
Mhm.
time is equivalent to Netflix and chill. There was
I
nothing
mean, I
creative.
guess you could put it that way. I'm not gonna like,
Hold on, listen. There was nothing creative about that. There's nothing special about that. Nothing. The second meetup is equivalent to a Netflix and chill.
okay. So
So
I'm
I'm
not.
so once again back to my question. Would that be a red flag if a man wants to on the first or second meeting want you to come back to his crib right away?
Well, it depends. So in my situation, even though it was a second meeting, we were still like FaceTiming for about a month consistently every day. You know what I'm saying? So we're still like building a rapport. So it just
Y'all are
depends on like,
FaceTiming every day?
yeah. Because for me, before I
Okay,
fly
so
out to
here's
sea,
what I'm hearing. Here's what I'm hearing. You were not serious.
what do you mean?
When you went to like his picture or whatever and wanted his attention, you didn't
Girl,
want nothing long term. You didn't want nothing serious.
why do you say that?
Because I'm looking at your behavior.
Which
No
part?
woman who wants something long term is going to go to a man's home and Netflix and chill with him and have sexual interaction with him on the second meeting.
I think
The
that
second meeting.
depends.
This is not your husband. It's not like y'all got married in between the first and second meeting. You're just going to do that on the second meeting? Really?
So I think it depends because I
No,
have flown out.
you're not
Can I?
listening.
You're not letting me talk either,
Yeah,
though.
but
I'm not gonna
I'm also
lie.
I've given you plenty of time to talk. I'm saying you're not listening because what I'm trying you wanted some honest feedback. You didn't come here to just talk and talk and talk. You wanted some feedback. So the feedback is that a man, I don't care what man it is, a man does not take you serious as a woman. I don't care if later on, because that's what y'all do. At first, y'all just say y'all don't really know what y'all want, and later on, y'all want something serious. Things change, your emotions and feelings get involved. The man is not taking you serious from the jump. If you're willing to meet up with him or do something sexual with him on a first or second meetup, he's not taking you serious.
So I've had relationships like in that situation because I don't want to just like hone on that one person because I have also talked to other people. But if I'm doing something and it's long distance, right? Um, and we FaceTime and we talk every day for a whole month. At that point, I would be comfortable enough to fly out there. I'm a grown ass woman. I have no problem with that. And I've had actual relationships moved in with people, you know what I'm saying, like met people's families after that happened. So I don't think that's too much of an issue. I feel like if we build a rapport, we get to know each other, and it's a long distance situation. When I go out there, then yeah, we might sleep together. I don't think that's a problem. I've also flown out to see people and nothing has happened. I don't think
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
my girl's in the comments, hey girl. But yeah, it's not like, okay, so first date happened, we don't do anything. The next date is like 2 weeks later, you know what I'm saying? And then we have sex. It's not like that. I usually have to build some sort of like, I have to build an emotional connection. That's just usually how I move. And I've had serious relationships
Let me
happen
tell
from
you,
that. So I
listen,
don't know.
your emotional connection is wrong
What do you mean?
for y'all women. That's the problem. That's a huge problem. You're talking about what that is equivalent to, y'all emotional connection is equivalent to a vibe. Y'all want to feel a certain way, right? In order to be comfortable, in order to want to do something with the man.
Yeah, is that not wrong? Shouldn't I
That's
feel
very
comfortable?
wrong. That's very wrong. Cause watch
Wait,
this.
shouldn't I feel
Watch
comfortable with a
this.
man before I
Watch
do
this.
something? I'm confused.
Wait. Hold on. Watch this. Why didn't you guys last? What happened?
Um, I don't want to go too deep into it, honestly, but whenever there's like disrespect in the relationship, like if there's, anything that's disrespectful, then I typically just
What
leave. So
was so disrespectful from him?
in
So give me an
particular,
example. Give me an example.
um, I gotta be careful on this platform because I already gave too much information
I
away
don't
as
know
if
who
like
he is. I don't know who he is.
you don't, but it's just like I don't want to get too deep into it, honestly. But disrespect to me in general is being overly controlling or cheating, things like that. That's disrespect. So that's why I would leave a
Was he a
relationship.
cheater? Was he a cheater?
Um, hold on one second.
Was he
He
a
did. He
cheater?
did
Stop
cheat.
reading the comments. Okay, he did cheat.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, guess what? I don't care if you FaceTime him every day or whatever, like you say you were doing, right?
Mm.
You were not able to do anything to verify this man's character. You were not able to do anything to verify his past. You're not able to do anything to verify if he was with a woman currently. He
Uh-huh.
had just got done seeing a woman. You were not able to verify any of that. You had
Right.
no references from any of his people. You had no references from any of his family members. Nothing. You're going off a vibe that you're getting over FaceTime.
Right. I mean, I didn't know that he was going to be a cheater until later on. I met the whole family,
Are
so
you
it's
not
not like
listening? Are
I
you
didn't
not
know that.
listening? You're
But
26
how
years
would you
old.
know that with anyone, though?
Listen, I'm much older than you. I'm here to try to help y'all. And I'm being as
So
nice
how
as
do
I
I
can
know if someone's a
possibly be.
cheater, regardless of like their profession? Let's put him
I'm
aside for a
being as
second.
nice
How
as I
would I
can
know?
possibly be. Listen, I'm being as nice as I can possibly be. Number one, I'm telling you right off the break, he's not going to be faithful to you or loyal to you because of what you did when y'all met. He's not taking you serious from the jump.
Hmm.
He slid into your DMs and then you're already showing. So, first of all, I can tell you right now, no man's taking you serious because number one, you got your titties all the way out. That's the red flag number
I'm in my
one.
night clothes, like it's nighttime. I'm not gonna lie. But I do have my titties on my Instagram and stuff. Like I do show. I'm not extreme or anything. Not like OnlyFans going crazy, but I do show
Did
off
you come here
because.
to get some honest feedback or did you come here to try to tell me who you are and what you're about and all this other stuff? I'm trying to give you feedback.
Okay, so if I
So,
put my titties away, then I'll be taken seriously if I cover it more. Will that do it?
did you hear what I said? I said that's number
Yes.
one. No man's taking you serious because of that. Number two, the way that your conversation is as a woman, which may lead to this is why, like, I'm Muslim, right? So in Islam, the women are supposed to, they don't all do this, but they're supposed to, right, put the man in contact with their father or their protector, whoever their guardian is,
Okay.
right? So in that space, the man is dealing with another man and he's gonna express his intention. What kind of intention do you want with my daughter? I
Mm-hmm.
want to get to know her for marriage.
Okay.
Okay. If that's the case, fine. You can come by or we can meet in public or you can come by the house. We can meet. We can see what you're about. I'll be here. You can have a conversation with my daughter, get to know her that way.
Okay.
Something like that's very serious.
I think that is a very nice way to do it. I don't think that's
Do
super
you have a
realistic.
father in your life?
Yeah, very active. My
Okay.
parents are together. They've been
He's very
together.
active. Your father's very active. Would your
Yeah.
father have approved of you going and flying out to a man's house for the second meeting and having sexual interaction with him?
I am 26,
I didn't
so
ask you that. I said, would your father had approved of that?
I don't think he would have said too much. I wouldn't have really like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody has my location. They know where I'm going. I do tell my family where I'm going. They know if I'm talking to somebody. If I'm talking to somebody every day for a month, they're gonna know different details about it. And then from there, I don't they're not gonna say too much more about it, to be honest. They're
Okay,
really not.
so your father would not have approved. I can tell you right now.
He wouldn't have said anything because again, I am an adult, so I'm not gonna
Your
lie, he wouldn't say
father
anything.
would not, if you asked your father's permission to do that, like, Father, Daddy, do I have your approval or do you support me in doing this? He's not going to say, yes, go ahead and fly out to that man's house for the second meetup so y'all can do something sexual. He's not going to
I
say
don't think
yes.
any father would be
Okay,
tell me to do
okay.
anything sexual at any point in time. I'm not gonna lie at all.
He's not going to approve of that. Yes, he will. A father will say, you're going to tell, a father is not going to tell his daughter, hey, I'm married now, daddy. Is it okay for me to have intercourse with my husband? You think every father is going to
Well,
say,
married,
no,
yeah.
don't sleep with your husband?
Okay, so you're saying that we should wait until marriage? Is that what you're trying to preach right now? I'm trying to understand what you're trying to preach to me.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
But
that's what we're getting at.
the
Okay.
problem is that we as men don't take y'all modern women serious because y'all are nothing to be taken serious.
Okay. I think
Do you
that
know how? Do you know this? I've made these statements before. I've had so many women, and especially women of color, that have after the first meeting wanted to go have intercourse with me. And it's not just women of color. It's been
I was
because
about to say it's really not.
I've been with all races of women, all of them,
Mhm.
all of them. I've been with, and after the first meeting, usually they want to go and have intercourse. They ready. And
I
guess what? And guess what? I never took any of those women serious.
okay.
Neither have any of my friends. I don't know one man that I've ever met that have married a woman that they slept together on the first night or second meetup or whatever. Nothing. None of them.
I mean, I've been taken seriously and been in relationships after talking for a period of time and then deciding to sleep with them before marriage. I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of, like my sister, for example, they didn't wait until marriage and they're married
Do you want
now.
marriage? Do you want marriage?
Yeah, that's definitely the
Okay.
goal.
I don't want to hear about your sisters.
I'm just letting you know that that does happen. People before marriage and they do end up together. I think that's actually the majority of people.
Okay.
I'm not saying
Do you want a
marriage is
man to take
a
you?
beautiful thing, but
Do you want a man to take you serious? But here, that's what I'm saying. The problem is not going to take you serious because number one, you said that your content is full of you not being fully dressed. So that's number
I
one.
mean, I have clothes on, but I
Do
might
you hear
have
what
some
I'm saying?
cleavage and
You can't promote that you want to be married, but you have content up that shows that you don't want to be married. It's counterproductive. You understand what
I
I'm
don't
saying? If I
okay.
listen, would you take me serious for marriage as a man if I had nothing but content on my page that said me out with the homies Friday night, Saturday night, Thursday night, me out with the homies in Vegas, me out with the if all of my content or most of my content was me out with the homies in different cities out of the country, going all to these clubs, would you take me serious if I said I'm ready for marriage? Would you take me serious?
Well, your lifestyle and how you're actually living your life, I would say that's a bit much, but I don't go out every weekend or promote that either.
I'm
So,
not talking about going out, but I'm saying the
are you comparing
promotion,
that to
the way
like
that you carry
having
your,
cleavage on Instagram, going out every
the
night?
way that you carry yourself and dress, take pictures and all that stuff, we look at that as men and we don't take you serious for anything serious.
You want to check out my Instagram and see if like how
I
bad
don't
it
want to
is?
check out your Instagram. I'm
Because
just
I feel like
telling
you're
you.
making a bit of like assumptions
No,
about.
because you already explained enough, and I see how you're dressed right now for night.
I'm in my
For
night
night.
clothes. I did get on live though, but this is literally just, this is just
You're
how
on a
I dress.
public platform showing all these people, including myself, your cleavage. You covered
Okay,
it.
I think that's a bit extreme. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a grown woman and I have been taken seriously on multiple occasions. Like I don't actually have a problem